We just in the last hour have heard from the Israeli defense minister, who is given an order for a complete siege of Gaza. And let me quote here, quote, "No electricity, no food, no fuel, everything closed." Does that tell you that a ground incursion is ahead?
Poppy, that would be one of the key indicators for a ground incursion. So basically what you're talking about here is the fact that every single one of these areas right here is going to be, in essence, X'd out. So what you're doing is you're cutting off all the power supplies. So at least half of the electricity that Gaza gets is supplied by Israel. That very fact limits all the things that the Gazans can do when it comes to, they are very densely populated area. When you look at everything that you see here, this right here is actually the border area right in this way, and all of this area is Gaza. All of this is extremely crowded, densely populated area, that probably the most densely populated area on Earth. You've got about 2 million people here. So every single one of these areas is going to suffer from food shortages, lack of electricity, lack of sanitation. In essence, this is what you do when you're getting ready to move in, if you're going to actually do a ground incursion. In essence, they're laying siege to Gaza.
In terms of how a ground incursion would work, there's been a very real reticence to fully engage in something like this from the Israeli military side for exactly the reasons you state, how densely populated it is, just how to get out once you get in to some degree. What are the key elements they have to consider before doing something like this?
So there are several key things, and this is actually an excellent point. So there's something unique about Gaza. People have described it as being, in essence, an open-air prison because once they're in, they can't get out. Now, that's overstating it a bit because before all these attacks, there were a lot of people from Gaza who were working in Israel. They had this border crossing right here was the one they would use to go in and work day jobs in Israel. But this is all now closed off. And so one of the unique features that they have to consider is that these people can't get out of anything that is happening here. This, in essence, is all blocked off right here. And that very fact makes it really hard for the Israelis to go in, because when you look at all of the different areas here, these are all very narrow streets, all built up areas with very few agricultural areas, at least in this part of Gaza. And that makes it hard because what you're dealing with here is what's known as urban warfare. It's going to be really tough for people to get in here, for the Israeli forces to move in buildings, around corners, around rooms. Their tactical intelligence is going to have to be extremely precise, especially when it comes to any efforts to try to rescue the hostages. And that's going to be a critical moment for the Israelis. They're going to have to decide exactly how they want to do it and what other things they can do in order to make that happen.